Yo guys, it's your boy Dylan, and today we're going to be doing another top 10 video. This one is a top 10 NFL video. Top 10 best teams from the 2022-23 season. Now I'm going to rank these teams by their winning percentage, but whoever's tied with the winning percentage, I'll just rank them to see who went farther in the playoffs or who did better in the playoffs. Number 10, New York Giants. They had 9 wins, 7 losses, but they did have a tie and a winning percentage of .559. Now, in the 2021-22 season, they were at a horrendous 4-13. They were last place in 2021-22, but for 2022-23, they did make a comeback, and even though they were third place, they still made the postseason. For the first time since 2016, they did beat Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings in the wild card round, but unfortunately, they were one of the victims to lose to the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC divisional round. Going on with number 9. Number 9 and number 8 are probably going to be a debatable spot, because number 9, I have the Baltimore Ravens. 10 wins, 7 losses, winning percentage of .588. Now, they were also a last place team in 2021-22 after following that 6-game losing streak and a few injuries. But for 2022-23, they actually did come back second seed or second place in the AFC North, clinched the postseason for the first time in 2 years, and within a close battle between the defending AFC champions, the Cincinnati Bengals, within 7 games. Unfortunately, the Ravens unfortunately lost in the wild card round. Number 8 is the Los Angeles Chargers. They also had 10 wins, 7 losses, and the .588 winning percentage for the Los Angeles Chargers. For the first time in Justin Herbert's 3rd season, the Chargers made the postseason, but for the team overall for the first time since 2018. But in the wild card round, they were up 27-0. But unfortunately, they lost. Yep, they choked another lead. They tend to choke late season, because if we were to go back to 2021-22, they could have had a chance to go to the postseason in overtime, just leave it as a tie, but the head coach decided, let's call it timeout, and that just left the Raiders 4 seconds left. This is week 18 of the 2021-22 season, so you just gave the Raiders a chance to kick a field goal, win the game, and for the Raiders to go to the postseason, because if both the Raiders and the Chargers tied, they would have kicked the Steelers out. Instead, it was the Raiders that moved on, not the Chargers. And then all of a sudden, this 27-0 lead that they blew is actually the 3rd largest comeback in the postseason that they blew. Yeah, so they tend to choke last minute in the season. So, number 7, I have the Dallas Cowboys. 12 wins, 5 losses, but a winning percentage of .706. Now, ever since Dan Quinn has come in as defensive coordinator, the Cowboys have actually won 12 games between 2021 and 2022 seasons. So that's like 24 wins ever since Dan Quinn joined in. But they did beat Tom Brady in the wild card round. But in the divisional round, they still can't get past the 49ers. And for the 2nd straight year against the 49ers, they pulled a stupid play on the final play of the game. Just like with 2022's playoffs, with 2023's, on the final play, they do another stupid play. Okay, so if you don't know what they did, Ezekiel Elliott decided to, be the quarterback and just throw the ball, which I find that weird and, dumb. But in 2022, they were going to try to spike the ball like the last seconds, but when they spiked the ball, the game was over. So, and guess who's pulling it out of his playbook? Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy, you better not do this again. He's going to do it again at some point. Sorry, Cowboys fans. All right, number 6. I have the Cincinnati Bengals. 12 wins, 4 losses. The reason why it doesn't say 12 and 5, or 13-4 is because one of the games on January 2nd of 2023 had to be suspended because of the Damar Hamlin incident. I mean, I think that game should have been played on a later date, but the league's got to do what they got to do. But with winning percentage, if you're wondering, .750. And now in the first 2 weeks of the regular season for the Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow was sacked already 13 times, and the Bengals were already 0-2. So the first 2 weeks were starting to alarm the Bengals. Are you sure they're good? Okay, but they would finish off strong, 12-4. They won their second straight AFC North Division title, and they would go on to the AFC Championship for the second straight year to play the Kansas City Chiefs for the second straight year. But unfortunately, they lost in the AFC Championship the same score that they lost in Super Bowl 56. That's ironic. Number 5, Minnesota Vikings. 13 wins, 4 losses with the winning percentage of .765. Now, the game that the Vikings won the NFC North Division title on December 17th, they were down 33-0. Keep in mind, the team that the Vikings are playing against is the Indianapolis Colts, aka a Matt Ryan team. Next thing you know, the Vikings came back, and in overtime, they won 39-36 to beat Matt Ryan. Another lead that was blown by Matt Ryan. So the Vikings, they went to the postseason, I believe for the first time in 2 years, 3 years. But unfortunately in the wild card round, they were unable to defeat the New York Giants in the wild card round. Sadly. But number 4, I have the San Francisco 49ers. They also have 13 wins, 4 losses, winning percentage of .765. Now, throughout the first 7 weeks of the NFL regular season, the 49ers were 3-4, but they would go on a 10-game winning streak, and most of that winning streak was actually carried by not Jimmy Garoppolo, not Trey Lance. It was their third-string quarterback, Brock Purdy. And he also carried the 49ers to their second straight NFC Championship game appearance. So, well done there by Brock Purdy, because they beat the Seahawks in the wild card, because they had to play wild card ball. Then they beat the Cowboys in the divisional round. But in the NFC Championship game, they were another victim to the Eagles when the Eagles beat them. But number 3, I have the Buffalo Bills. 13 wins. They have 3 losses. Again, just like with the Bengals, they only played 16 games and not the full 17. Winning percentage .813. And the Bills, again, like I said, the reason why the game wasn't fully finished from the January 2nd game because of Damar Hamlin's collapse, which he's on defense. They lost a couple of defensive keys because in the Thanksgiving game, unfortunately, they lost Von Miller. Von Miller is a big defensive piece. He's a very big defensive piece. But, fortunately, for the third straight year, the Bills would clinch the AFC East title. They won the wild card round. Instead of a 47-7 blowout, which was from 2022, it was actually a close and tight 34-31 against the Dolphins. And in the divisional round, I wouldn't really say it's a blowout, but at the same time, it was not a close game against the Cincinnati Bengals. They lost 27-10, which that, unfortunately... And if you actually do some math, if you actually calculate the points that they allowed from the 2022 playoffs to the 2023 playoffs, they've given up more points on defense than what they did in the 2022 playoffs. So 2023, they gave up more. than what they gave up for 2022 playoffs. All right, number 2. Now, I am going to spoil right now that these two teams are Super Bowl teams. Number 2, Philadelphia Eagles, 14 wins, 3 losses, .824 winning percentage. And now, originally, they were off to an undefeated 8-0 start, but unfortunately, they would lose to the Commanders to end their undefeated streak. They would go on to win 14-3. They beat the Giants in the divisional round. They beat the 49ers in the NFC Championship game. And for the first time in 5 years, the Eagles made it to the Super Bowl under Jalen Hurts. After the previous season, they were just a wild card team and they lost to Tom Brady. This year, they get a breakout season and they win and they go to the Super Bowl. Now, Jalen Hurts, this was his first appearance at the Super Bowl. And also one of the Kelce brothers, Jason Kelce, was for the Eagles. So, it was Kelce Bowl for that one, but the Chiefs, the other Kelce, Travis Kelce, would win the Super Bowl. But that was a close fight. The Eagles were close to a second Super Bowl title. But speaking of Kansas City, they are number 1 on this list. Again, 14-3, but .824. Even though it might be the same winning percentage, they won the AFC West Division title without Tyreek Hill. They won the AFC Championship game without Tyreek Hill. And most importantly, they won the Super Bowl without Tyreek Hill. That's a big one as well. They won the Super Bowl without Tyreek Hill. The Chiefs, they still have some good guys out there during that Super Bowl. Marcus Van Scanling, Juju Smith-Schuster, Isaiah Pacheco, McKinnon, Travis Kelce. He's a big one right there. So Mahomes has been using Kelce a lot. And Patrick Mahomes was also the passing touchdown leader of 2022, 2023, with 41. So with that, the Chiefs, they won their first Super Bowl title since 2020. So now the Chiefs have 3 Super Bowl titles overall in their franchise. If they potentially win a Super Bowl next year, they could probably be a dynasty team. So with that, that will conclude for today's video. Again, if you guys want to see more NFL content, comment down below. Comment down below if you think I should do maybe some divisional predictions on who do I think is going to win the division for each division for the NFL for 2023-24. But please make sure to smash that subscribe button, smash the like button. Until then, I will see you guys in the next video.